The creators of RWBY haven't been afraid to throw a range of grim creatures at our protagonists, with varying effectiveness. Some have been terrifying in concept and inspiration, but ended up more of a glorified wacky inflatable meme than a true threat. And who could forget the way Team Coffee made a complete mockery of Salem's pets at the end of Volume 2. Watching Coco slap this Beowulf with her bag still destroys a small part of my soul. At the moment, RWBY Chibi seems to make better use of the creatures of Grimm for laughs than the show does make them appear threatening. And that's a real shame, and something I hope changes in the upcoming volumes. Given the scope of Grimm we've seen, from the Geist to the Ursas and of course Kevin the Dragon, the potential for some truly terrifying foes is absolutely there, as long as they aren't easily ended by 4 rookie huntsmen. Before I delve into today's video, I'd just like to give a quick shout out to my newly created Patreon. Your support there will really help me create more of this kind of content, and you'll also be able to suggest future topics for videos. So, back to the show. For today's RWBY Theory video, I'm going to examine 4 creatures from both myth and reality to discuss which would make the best creature of Grimm. Number 1. The Megalodon. It's a pretty easy choice. I don't think I need to say too much about this guy, he's pretty infamous as is. But since aquatic Grimm have been a thing since Volume 4, the idea of a variety of them threatening boats as they travel is pretty horrible. And what better creature to wreak havoc in the sea than this real-life monster? I don't think there'd be enough heavy cannons in the world to take out this giant shark. Megalodons tend to have 7-inch teeth and the strongest bite of any known animal. A Megalodon Grimm could put Kevin's chomp to shame. Number 2. The Aswang. I hope I'm saying that right. This creature is from Filipino mythology, and it's obviously quite a lot smaller than a Megalodon, but is no less terrifying. A shapeshifter, often described as a vampire or a ghoul, Spanish colonists in the country noted that this particular beast was one of the most feared by the locals. Its name is derived from the word for demon in the area, which fits pretty well since the creature's most noted behaviour is killing and devouring small children in the night. Just the idea of one of these disguising themselves as a main member of the RWBY cast and then suddenly transforming into this horrible creature in the dead of night is honestly such a creepy but awesome scenario, and it makes Salem's job a whole lot easier. This creature's abilities would certainly allow RWBY to do an idea I've seen thrown around in the fandom often, about a grim imitation of Pyrrha, our fallen Great One, without having to bring the character back completely. Just think of the angst. This one you've probably heard of, the Wendigo, an evil spirit local to North America and Canada. Particularly in wooded and swampy regions, the Wendigo is both a mixture of monster and human in appearance. The creature is heavily associated with famine, the cold and winter, which makes this potential Grimm a great addition to Volume 6 in Atlas. Described as a gaunt skeleton with bones popping out and sunken eyes, it's said to be able to imitate voices and create illusions. Its bloodthirst can never be satisfied, hunting down human after human with its superior hearing and speed. It's said to be nearly impossible to escape, your fate sealed when it decides to target you. Number 4. The Banshee. A female spirit from Irish mythology, who usually appears when a family member has died. In terms of its appearance, the spirit usually appears dead, with long flowing hair, and brings bad omens in its wake. The Banshee has been viewed as both a malicious and good spirit by locals, though given Salem's reputation, the creature would most definitely be the former. Just imagine one of these appearing when a group of huntsmen are camped out on a mission in the middle of nowhere, and this monster draws closer, before erupting in a deafening scream. Maybe even one that attracts other creatures of Grimm rapidly. Now having gone through these creepers, I'm having a slight change of heart. I'm sort of wishing that Coco would just come and smack them all into oblivion before they get anywhere near my precious children. But I guess I must hate myself too, because I'd love to see RWBY introduce some of these into the show, and really follow through with them. Make them a proper threat. No wacky inflatable limbs, please. I'd also really love to see what creatures you guys think would make awesome Grimm. I'm sure there's plenty of ideas out there. Make sure to check out my Nuka-Lavi theory video if you haven't already, and be sure to support my Patreon for more content like this. Link below. Oh, and see you on the flip side.